What's up, guys? Tim in the North back with another AoE2 ranked match. Today we are in Arabia playing as the Ethiopians. I'm still practicing Archer Rush, trying to get a build order down. I've actually been struggling with this build order, and I am now in the stages of tweaking it a little bit to try and get more archers out on the field and try to be a little bit more aggressive. And that does work. That does work this video, except my opponent has another strategy up their sleeve that I was not prepared for. So yeah, we'll get into that when that time comes. We are going to speed up through Dark Age though. So luring boars, idling my TC a little bit, trying to bring in deer and do boars. This still, I still need to get better at this. When I'm playing, I feel like it's not that bad, but obviously it is. But yeah, so what I've been trying to do is, the build I was working on had 3 at the start on wood, but now like I'm not getting into feudal age as quickly, so I don't have enough food, so I'm like kind of like staggering like near the end of Dark Age. But now I'm trying to send more to wood like middle of the build. So yeah, it's been something, but also like this is another timing issue that I'm having. Oh, I'll just build another house. I'll just build another house. So yeah, but my opponent's got more of like a favorable mill here, I guess. Had the hunt and a boar right there. Wow, that's a lot on berries, dude. 18. Sheesh. So anyway, yeah, I have 2 barracks down. Or sorry, 2. Or was that conflict? Okay, but conflicts here. Yeah, so running the scout around a little bit, just pestering people. I did get 2 ranges down. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I'm trying to get the blacksmith down here. I'm also trying to wall. I think I took too many off of wood here and sent too many to gold because I wanted to keep 2 running and just be like really aggressive early on. So my opponent is coming with some militia here, and I don't see this until late. You know, I kite them around a little bit. I also seen the scout running around. So yeah, my attention's on this now. I don't see much of this, so I wasn't worried about it. I sent these. This got out of hand on me though. I sent all the vills here. I'm gonna put a house wall here. There was some lag here on me. I couldn't move that vill for some reason. So I think I lose some. Yeah, I lost a vill up here, and some vills did go down here. But I know the archers will clear that up. I don't have fletching yet, which is another thing that I should have been more mindful of. So opponent was very aggressive early on, and I know I was expecting these to turn into Man-at-Arms, and I thought that that's what they were gonna go for. I thought they would have grabbed the upgrade, but yeah, so clean that up. I'm now at a deficit of 4 vills. My idle TC obviously hasn't helped with that either, and my eco is sloppy now. There's dead villagers on the wood line that they're walking all over trying to get me wood for more archers. But yeah, fletching's coming in now, so I'm gonna pressure the opponent here, and this is kind of why I wanted to go heavier on gold, so I could keep like a trickle of archers coming out. And I knew the wood line was here earlier because I seen, you know, this log camp, so I wanted to go after this. So bills are right here. It would have been great if I would have left the scout right here on top of where the market was going to be. So I let the archers, you know, kind of scare this off. I'm assuming they're trying to get up to Castle Age here by dropping this. I thought that's kind of what they were going for. Obviously also to block the archers from coming out. So I figured they're trying to rush up to Castle Age after having all those militia out. So I wanna camp this wood line. And I'm showing you this vision because this is ultimately what's going to unfold into how this match plays out. And yeah, I just had this match a little bit ago. I don't know if I already said that, but this is actually something that didn't sit very well with me. I'm actually kind of salty about it, and you know, you can make fun of that or whatever, but just in general, this doesn't sit well with me. But we'll get into that. But yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good here, right? Like I've closed down this wood line, and I see this farm here, and I'm just like, wow, that's weird. There's a mill here. So I punish this, and I make sure I get all these with the vills. Working this down. I set the rally point on the berry, so I'm kind of letting eco fall apart slowly. I see all these houses in here, and I'm just like, okay, this might be like a newer player. One of my friends that I used to play with and was training for a little bit did this a lot. They also didn't realize that you could put farms around the town center. So yeah, so these archers, I have this pretty locked down. I'm thinking, but I know that I lost vills, so I'm just kind of like, oh shit, like I gotta catch up somehow. So I'm trying to get into this, and I see the blacksmith coming down. I'm like, all right, can I pick another vill off here? You know, it is what it is. We did get one, so I'm feeling a little bit better about this. And you know, still 5 on gold, and now my opponent's saying GG, and I'm just like, what? No, like I lost vills. Like I didn't feel like I did that much damage, right? So I'm just kind of like, this, you know, I don't like throwing the towel yet. Obviously skirms could clean this up. And like I had assumed that like there was a decent amount of wood stockpiled because there was this archer, this lumber camp, and then like this lumber camp. Like, make some skirms, what I'm thinking. And I'm trying to like patrol around to see like if anything's gonna come out. I'm still not sure about like the situation, and I am now trying to get up to Castle Age, and I have a bunch of idle eco, so like my eco is not good. I'm not like in like the greatest position, but I'm just trying to see what's here. So my opponent says, give me a chance please, and I'm just like, well, like I'm 900 ELO right now, almost 1,000, and I feel like this is kind of where new players are trying to like squeeze in. So I pull my army back, and I've done this. I only have 10 vills, and now let's look at the map. My opponent has 36 vills, is also branched out to different parts of the map, and I asked what your ELO is, because at this ELO, I play a lot of people who are trying to find their place in the ELO bracket. So I'm like, well, I never feel good like beating up on new people, because like, especially if you want like a game, especially an online game, to succeed, like you don't want to like discourage new people, right? Like you don't want someone like just saw the new DLC that's coming and trying to like get into the game, and then they just get absolutely wrecked and then don't want to come back to the game ever again. Like I'm I'm like against doing that. And I never, like, whenever I win a ranked match, like the number one thing that I look at is how many games a person's played. Like I never feel good at like beating up on someone that has like 100 games. So I'm trying to give advice here. And I don't know any, we see the ELO here. I don't see this when I'm playing. Like this is a capture age option. So I'm trying to like give this person advice, and I've done this before, and I've gone into like like ranked matches with someone afterwards and like gone over like build orders and stuff. Like I limited knowledge, but like if I can pass something on to somebody, like that's great. I would, and the reason this doesn't sit well with me is it's more so in my nature to want to help people. It's actually a main part of my channel. Like I do a lot of guides, and I get a lot of satisfaction seeing comments on people saying that, oh, this strategy helped, thanks, blah blah blah. Like that feels good. You know, my job is actually, you know, a support from a technical standpoint. Like I build things to assist with people's jobs. I feel a great sense of accomplishment, like being able to help somebody. So, you know, that's why I've backed off, and I'm trying to look at the map and like give like advice, and that's like what I was doing here. So obviously my opponent has another surprise coming. At this point, like I was giving advice, but I was also watching somebody stream, so I'm not like really paying attention to this. I was just kind of like letting them go through the motions of like trying to rebuild their eco back, and like, you know, like that would be it. I wasn't trying to like, all right, let's end this game, I gotta get into the next one and beat the hell out of somebody else. Like I wasn't doing that. For me is hard now, so I was like, that's why like I'm not like trying to like run over here and just like still kill things, right? I have no army, but has 15 scouts. So, and I'm saying, so before we end, tips, and I'm just like, all right, well, here's some tips. And they're like, yeah, tips please. So then like I'm like looking at this from my thing, and I see 3 mills, and I don't know how I ended up seeing this one, but like I said, it didn't occur to me because like I'm just assuming this is a new player. So for me, like, you know, you have like more town centers down, and then like you're not really building out multiple mills. The same thing with the wood lines. So I'm just kind of like, you know, this is what I'm looking at. But my opponent gets up to castle age, and I haven't been running my town centers really, and you know, that was kind of a sign for me. I've also stopped producing military at this point because, like I said, I've just been sitting there like watching Twitch and like chatting with this person. So I'm just kind of like, they just got up to castle age, like maybe I should like go up to imp, like what? Because like now it's weird. I also looked at the number of houses they had and I'm looking at mine. I'm like, I have 13 houses. Why would you have built so many houses? And like it hasn't clicked yet. And I'm explaining how to like build around a base, like, and this is waiting for me. Also saying not so close to town because, like I said, I've played with my one friend who gets rid of this farming space and puts houses down. And he's like, should I surrender or try? And like, I'm coming out with the scout to see how you have things set up. Like, I'm just trying to like see like how like he's tried to bounce back here. And I'm like, all right, like he's got like fences and stuff, like, you know, that's, and I'm like, I mean, you could surrender, like, I'm gonna like go over stuff with you like on the screen afterwards. And he goes, okay, is good. And this is where, like I said, I've just been sitting here. I haven't been doing anything. Like all these resources have been built up because like I said, like I'm watching Twitch. There's actually like there was a show match that was on that I was watching and I was kind of like sucked into because it was low elo. And like I said, you can resign. I'm just looking at your base. Like I've completely just like stopped. And now like I queued up more archer or crossbowmen at this point because I noticed the score at this point. So that's why I did end up queuing up more units. Because I noticed the score was getting wildly out of control. Because again, I was not paying attention to that. So my opponent is now going to make their move. They've pretty much invested heavily into Castle Age units at this point. So there's no stopping this at all. I wasn't watching the wood line, obviously. So he runs in here with scouts, and like in my mind, it's like, all right, he made a bunch of scouts, or you know, light cav. If I clean this up, maybe they'll resign. And I'm trying to get the crossbowmen back, and all my vills are just gonna get slaughtered here. Like I have a decent enough mass of crossbowmen. But my eco is completely slaughtered. I'm trying to get a university now so I can get the ballistics. I have enough resources for Imperial Age. I just needed to get that down, or a castle as well. I actually did not mean to ungarrison here. Like it was, I clicked and I was trying to make sure the marker was in there, but then like I fat fingered the ungarrison and lost more vills. So yeah, quite the surprise. Like I said, it didn't sit right with me because like I said it's kind of deceptive to pretend you're someone you're not. And like I get that this is not smurfing, but technically in a way it is, because like obviously with a smurf account you're playing as, you know, an alt to who like you are like as your main, right? Like it's different. So like come in here and you're like 700 elo and I have 10 vills, right? And I'm just in my mind like they're trying to get fit in on the ladder, and like their elo for 700 is like in another category that's not 1 versus 1. And I felt bad. Like I said, I've done this before. I felt bad like playing against like newer people trying to fit in. So I was not expecting. And I don't think this is. It's funny, but like like I said, I don't think this is the right thing to do. But yeah, we'll speed up a little bit here. My opponent is now getting another town center down. I did get a conversion here, which was the actual knight. I think there was like 2 or 3 knights in that mixture there. But yeah, completely expanded out, producing a ton of cavalry units. And you know, at this point, like I had a hard time. I don't know if something was wrong with my buildings, but I could not get people ungarrisoned here, and they went back in, even though I ungarrisoned them. It's like, what the hell's going on? But yeah, so Yeah, the moral of the story is if you get beat down in Dark Age or Feudal Age, just lie to your opponent. But yeah, I absolutely did not know what to do at this point. Completely blindsided. So I get the Imperial Age and I'm like, all right, maybe I could treb down something. And then I was like, he must have been, at this point is when I was like, oh, he must have been much further ahead than what he let on. Like I was like, oh, 10 Vils. It had to have been like a little bit more than 10 Vils, but then I realized like it couldn't have been that much if he got up to Imp almost as quickly as I did. And yeah, there's nothing I could do here. I did say the GG, and I did give a piece of my mind at the end there, that I think it was kind of shitty to do that. But yeah, if you're a new player and you run into somebody and they might not be as helpful or willing to give tips, it might be because of somebody was like this. But like I said, kind of funny, but also didn't necessarily sit right. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. So if you see Marcel Hobby on the ladder, tell him your boy Tim in the North says hi. Peace.